Hey, what's up, everybody, man? My name is Yamamoto Boss. I'm right here with.
JD.
All right. So today we're going to be conducting an interview. We're going to be discussing topics such as the beginnings of JD, where he comes from, what's his values, and what his take is on SD hip hop and hip hop in general, and where he wants to take his music to. And while we're doing all that, we're going to be enjoying some chicken wings and some fries. So let's begin. JD, tell us what's going on with the name JD.
JD, those are actually my initials. So my name is Julian de Alba, and it took me a while to actually come up with a name for myself to put out to the world. I can't really go by my full name because my last name is just it's a little too Mexican for me, and I am Mexican and I do take pride in that. And but coming from me, I don't make that kind of music, so I had to figure out a way to incorporate the name that was given to me and then name that I want to give out to the world, and JD just fit perfectly for me. Although there's like so many JDs on all platforms, it's kind of hard to search my name up. So as of right now, I am considering of changing my name to JDMrSD on all platforms. So that might be something to come in the future.
Okay. I have an opinion on that. Obviously, my last name is Yamamoto, and then my moniker is Boss.
Mm-hmm.
And I wanted to represent my last name, my heritage, and who I am as a person. And the reason why I stuck with Yamamoto is because in the military, people just would call me Yamamoto. So I'm already accustomed to people saying my last name anyways. And additionally, with what you said with your name, you can't count out the people out there that uses their full name. You gotta understand, like Kendrick Lamar. He uses his full name. Jason Derulo, very pop R&B singer.
Mm-hmm.
Keith Sweat. That's not his real name, but but you know what I'm saying, like, don't be afraid to use your name or any parts of your name when it comes to being an artist. Okay, well, with that being said, you're from San Diego. Are you a native here?
I am. I was born and raised right here in San Diego, more South Bay area. Although I have moved around throughout my years. I've lived in Washington. I've lived in Ontario, California. But can't stay away from San Diego, can you? Just rent's high for a reason. I can tell you that. It's worth living here for sure. And just like the people that I know, can't get away from that. It's different everywhere else. So San Diego is definitely a place I love to be at. Born and raised. I don't think I'm gonna be able to leave here for a little minute. I'm gonna have to be here for a little while.
No, you made a great decision. I've traveled the world. I've been in Washington State.
Yeah.
It was raining all the time.
It
smelled great.
All the time.
It smelled great though.
It does smell great though. You can't drive with the windows down.
Yeah, it smells great all the time. It smells like nature. It hits different.
It does hit different. It's cool to be there for a little minute, but
yeah,
can't be there for too long.
I've been to Ontario, and I can't be.
I'm not gonna lie. I don't really have a lot to say about Ontario.
Yeah, I got nothing bad to say about Ontario. Shout out to my Ontario peoples. Y'all can have it though.
Y'all stay up there if you want.
Yeah. But Dago, man, it's. I live all parts of Dago. I lived in City Heights, off of Euclid and Home. I lived out in Claremont. I lived off of. Let me see where else I lived at. UTC area. I lived in Mira Mesa, El Cajon. Now I live in the South Bay. I don't think you're a true San Diegan if you haven't lived all over parts of San Diego.
That's actually kind of true.
Yeah. And it's okay to me. I feel like I know San Diego now, and what I love about San Diego is that, yeah, prices are high, but everything what you need is around the corner. Like, if you don't like a certain area, just move somewhere else and you'll like it, you know. Yeah, we pay a little bit higher price, but at least, okay, so if you were to get a 1-bedroom apartment in Texas, it's like about 1,300 right now, right? But if you live there, the weather is like 100 degrees right now.
Yeah, nah, I'm not.
So
I'm not doing that.
So you're spending all your money not on the rent, on the electricity, on the AC. So your $1,300 rent for 1 bedroom is now like 1,900. It's the same thing as living here in San Diego. At least in San Diego, just open up your door and window, you're good.
Pay for what you.
Exactly.
For what you get.
And if you live in Texas, man, like if you want to go to Walmart or wherever, it takes 30 to 40 minutes to get to where you want to be. Whereas you just drive down the street.
Yeah, that's why I like the gas. That's why the gas is cheaper, because you have to drive further.
Exactly. So it all pans out. So you make the right decision to be here in San Diego. You pay a little bit more, but it is really the same.
It's worth it for sure.
And the prices of food is the same over there than over here. Like over here, what we pay here is the same over there. People say, "Oh, it's cheaper." It's bullshit. Oh, we don't pay state tax. I don't care. It's still expensive.
It's expensive.
Right. So, I go vacation there all the time. I see no difference in terms of the price.
Not in the food and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Especially like on the West Coast, like, you know.
At least here in the West Coast, we have an extremely amount of different diversity in our food.
Yeah.
So if you're hungry for one, like if you want Moroccan food, you want, you know, if you want Italian food, or if you want Korean food, Japanese food, we got it, you know.
And anywhere you go too, you can go to El Cajon, you
Yeah.
can be in the South Bay, you can go to Mira Mesa.
Yep.
You're getting everything everywhere.
Exactly. And you got the beach. You can't just be, if you really like want to be next to the ocean, you can't do that in Texas unless you live on the south part of Texas, and it gets, and believe it, those areas like Galveston, it's the same price as San Diego, if not more.
Galveston, is that what it's called? Galveston, Texas?
Yeah.
It's the same price as it is to live here?
Yep.
Why would you live there if you can live here for
Exactly.
the same price?
Yeah, and they got hurricanes, so and hail.
Bro, their rain is hot.
Yeah, so
Why would you want hot rain?
exactly. So what kind of music you do, man?
So I can't really specify what kind of music I make. Typically, I make a lot of like hip hop and R&B.
Mm-hmm.
But ever since I started producing music, I just kind of ventured into like different genres. Like, for instance, I don't really listen to reggaeton music, but I'm currently working on a reggaeton track.
Mm-hmm. So
I kind of like venture here and there, but for the most part, I do work on a lot of like West Coast R&B. That's actually what my next project is gonna be. It's gonna be a West Coast R&B project.
That's good, man. I've experimented a lot in my humble beginnings, and trying different beats, different styles, R&B, singing, you know, and I feel like you can't really define yourself as a true artist if you don't try different types of styles of music.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, and
definitely.
And you never know, because music is from the soul, so you know some beats will resonate better with you, you know, and
sure.
Or if you like to create your own beats, you know, those styles of music usually resonate with you, right?
Yeah.
So, you know, my only advice is, you know, continue experimenting, because you know you're still growing. You're still growing as a person, as an artist. So
Yeah.
don't just limit yourself. But eventually you're going to have to dial down to a certain style, because that's where you're going to build your fans, your fanship from. People like to see consistency, people like to see like consistent work, body
For
of work.
sure, yeah.
If you switch too much, your fans get confused and they'll not necessarily get angry at you, but they're like, I thought you're an R&B artist. Like,
Yeah.
why you keep switching to like dance or rap?
Yeah.
You know. But this is as an artist in the early beginnings. Try different sounds until you get to who you think you are. You know. Right now, I've personally dialed into who I am. You know, everybody knows I do hip hop and rap and in some R&B, but like kind of like gangster R&B. You know, talking about guns and stuff inside.
Got on some R&B beats, bro.
Yeah, so
Still R&B.
it's the R&B, yeah, and you know, girls like bad boys, so you know. Actually, believe it or not, one of my songs that I released on my recent album on Summertime Boss, the song "Baddest," it's actually one of my top 8 songs on Apple. So the women like it.
Oh, that's like gonna be your biggest audience is women. Like
Actually,
for R&B.
yeah,
like,
for R&B, yes, for R&B definitely. But you know, men like R&B, but they just don't want the soft stuff. You know, they want to talk about guns too. You know, everybody loves guns. You know, big up to the Second Amendment. You know. All right. What inspired you to do music?
You know what? I couldn't even like put like pinpoint to when I figured out that I wanted to make music, but from what I like can remember is like the second that I started like actually like listening to music by myself. I was like probably like 9, 10 years old. I just wanted like so bad to like know how they made it, like how like something like that could even be created. And I mean, it took like a whole nother like 10 years, you know, for me to even start thinking about creating music. But just listening to people make music, and you know, like most of my family that I live with, they can actually sing. So I'm the only one that makes music, but they can all kind of just naturally sing, and I was the only one that couldn't sing. But for some reason, I'm really the only one that decided to actually venture into music as much as I have. And so something about like working hard to like sing and make R&B, it was kind of just really good for me. Hearing them sing and not want to make music pushed me to, you know, say, why can't I sing? I should be able to sing. And so I kind of taught myself how to sing, you know, enough to make music. So just those little things, just hearing my family sing and them loving music and me loving music as well, wanting to learn how to create it, it just pushed me to make it myself. And it, you know, when COVID started, I had a lot of time, so I decided to invest it into something that I kind of liked, and that was music.
Okay.
And so, you know, I invested into a laptop, microphone, speakers, just the whole setup, headphones, just the whole setup to make my own music.
Okay.
And, you know, ever since then, I have not looked back since. It's something about knowing what you want to do in life and what you have to do in life. And for me, that's like both of those hit with music.
That's good.
So I just from all of that, I know that like I have to make music.
Okay.
There's no stopping.
Music's been a huge part of my life. I just knew I was going to do something in music when I decided to go into orchestra, and I thought I was going to be an orchestra, you know, star. I thought I was going to join a bigger orchestra after high school, and then I was just going to play orchestra across the United States. That didn't happen. What happened was I got kicked out of orchestra at age 16 or 15, and from there, like, my dreams was destroyed, you know, because I grew up in the hood, and we don't have any role models. We don't have any dreams. My family didn't invest in me playing sports, right? They never went to any of my games. it was like, oh, they signed me up for a basketball team at the Boys and Girls Club, but they never went to any of my practices or my games.
Mm-hmm.
They went to one of them, and my uncle went to one of them, but he was like never like. But I get it, you know, it wasn't his thing. I get it. And then so I didn't do any other. I joined soccer, but I mean, what's the odd chances of me being a soccer star? You know, here in the U.S. is where soccer is not even a huge sport. You know, so I didn't have that much aspirations to be anything. It was just whatever, you know. So when my best friend at the time, he's still my best friend. He just lives in Texas. He introduced me to Fruity Loops, and I started making beats.
Mm-hmm.
And from there, making beats, I learned how to make my own stuff. And eventually, a friend of mine was looking to have a feature on his song, but he didn't have anybody who could rap or sing. So he decided for me to give it a try and rapping and singing, even though I was totally against it. And then I just fell in love with rapping and singing, and I just ended up having a voice for it, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And the fact that I have all these musical backgrounds, like being an orchestra student, beat producer, a DJ. I was a DJ at once too.
You were a DJ?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So like DJs have a special ear for something. They know what the crowd wants to hear.
Yeah.
So me combining what I believe what the crowd wants to hear with my musical talent, my lyricism, and everything, I knew that I was going to be a force to be reckoned with, right? So, like you, like I felt the same passion of like just going out there making my own music, but it took time to build that confidence because the first few tracks was pure trash. I'm gonna lie. I listened back to it, I was like, I made that? Holy crap. I was so hyped when I first made it, you know? I was like, yeah, that's a dope. That's gonna be a hit. That's gonna be a hit. And I look back, I was like, no, that was definitely not a hit.
Every artist looks at their first tracks like that.
Yeah, right. That's a hit song. That's a Soldier Boy right there. You know?
He hit his first on
you know, but you know,
on the first track. That's funny, bro.
Yeah. So like, what do you see your music going to? You know, do you see yourself as a Californian artist, or a rock star across the U.S., or an international superstar? Where you at?
You know what? Hopefully it just stays in California. Going outside of the U.S. and like, you know, doing shows outside of the U.S. would be cool. But I don't know if I could live that like spontaneous life throughout like just traveling to each state, you know, touring throughout each state. I don't know if I could do that. I think if anything, I would much rather travel the West Coast, like touring the West Coast, you know, mostly Cali, and hit the rest of the West Coast, and then I want to see the rest of the world too, so I can't leave them out. But for sure, Cali and Dago, I for sure want to represent.
Okay.
At least for the time being. I don't know if I could handle the bigger life, like
yeah,
like I think we were talking about it earlier. East Coast artists are different, bro. I don't know if I could definitely get along with them, but that would have to be something that would happen in the future.
Okay.
For now, for the time being, I'm definitely sticking to this to the West Coast. My new project is actually called Waves Out West.
Waves Out West. Okay.
Yes, sir.
That's nice, man. I totally understand that. Like, I was raised in the Midwest, you know, in Arkansas. I lived a little bit out there in both Texas and Kansas. But not saying that I wouldn't go out there to perform, but our fan base is going to be mainly here in California, you know. That's where our roots begin, and that's how we branch out. But like to tour, it's as a DJ, I've traveled to different cities. It's nerve-wracking because you got to get the hotel, got to get to the hotel on time to get into your hotel room, and then there's always travel issues, you know, whether you're traveling in cars or airplane. that costs money no matter how you look at it. And then, you know, if you're driving a car, it's gonna cost gas and oil changes, tire changes, and there's always maintenance that come along with it. Or if you're going through airplanes, got paid, you know, to get in the airplane and then get your rental or your Uber. And Uber is not always guaranteed, depending on what city you go to. If you go to a small town like Colorado, in Denver, yeah, good luck finding an Uber like at 2 a.m.
Yeah, I thought about that.
Yeah, so it's hard, you know. And
Yeah, do they even have like taxis like that anymore? Like
maybe, I don't know. I know when my last time in Denver it was nerve wracking. I was trying to get to the airport and it wasn't happening, man. Not at 2 a.m.
2 a.m.
Yeah, so depending on what city you go to, I mean, yeah, Texas, whatever, but not all parts of Texas. You know?
Yeah, Texas is a huge state.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like California.
Yeah, I mean, if you go to Houston, it's nice, but if you go to, you know, Dallas or Fort Worth, it's nice. But if you're like going to a smaller city, which I don't see you going to a small city, but if you were, you know, it's nerve wracking.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. Then, and of course, your fans are everywhere, but you know, we have the largest economy here in California. We have the largest population. I don't see why any artist should be struggling finding fans here in their own home state.
Yeah.
You know.
I mean, sometimes in San Diego it's a little hard.
I find it kind of not hard because there's 2 million people here. There's 2 million.
Is that the population of San Diego?
San Diego County, yeah. 2 million. And if you're telling me you can't find a solid 200 fans here in San Diego, you're doing something wrong. All right, so
I guess I'm doing something wrong then, huh?
yeah, no, it's really just out there. People love to know each other, man. This is a big county, but people love handshakes. People like to say hello to each other, you know, and that's what's missing here in California is people giving each other handshakes and telling them hello and hey, let me get your number. We should hang out, stuff like that, you know. And that's how you build fans locally. That's why when you see me at shows, I don't leave the shows. I stay there till the very last artist is done.
I've seen that.
I just to tell them like, hey, I'm not better than you. I'm here. Even though I might be better than you. I'm here. I'm here for you. Like regardless, if you may not have one fan out there supporting you on that stage, but I just know I'm right there watching you, and you're good.
That's some real shit.
You know.
I like that.
What do you think? Where do you think San Diego artists are struggling in terms of making music?
I think that right there, what you're just talking about is, I guess like networking, collaborating, getting in touch with each other, you know. Just like that whole handshake, like you said, people love handshakes, people love to talk, communicate face to face. You know, sometimes we want to get caught up in this whole social media life and we really forget about, you know, personal interaction, like in-face interactions. And that's actually why I started doing more shows. I never really saw myself doing shows as much as I've been doing shows lately, but just, you know, meeting people and interacting with them in person is a whole lot different than interacting with them on social media. It doesn't compare, and like, you know, what you get on social media is like likes, you know, comments, shares and stuff like that, and it's cool, you know, to push your music out there and stuff like that, but I'd much rather feel what I feel when I see someone in person and they tell me how much they love my music or how much they love my performance, or, you know, when am I gonna put out more music and stuff like that. It's a whole different feeling, and I think more San Diego artists should put time into that rather than trying to build a whole social media presence.
Right. Okay. That sounds dope, man. With that being said, I'll give you guys some free gems here. JD has seen the style of my hustle. But one thing I want you guys to take something from this entire interview is that I want every single one of you guys to get one of these wristbands right here. It's called Dot. And as a performer, as an artist, you should not be yelling at people to get their social media. You should be just like, give me your phone, you tap it with this. It costs about $30. It's free to set up online. $30 to invest in this. All you got to do is tap somebody's phone, and then all your data is going to be transferred to their phone. And once you have that,
Let me see how this works, bro.
oh, you want to see it? Okay.
Yeah, what I do?
Just open it up right here. Just stay still. No. What's the? What phone do you have?
I think my phone might be. It's because I cracked the back of it.
Oh. So let's see.
I got the 13 Pro.
It's supposed to work. Anyways, it did. Oh, there we go. No, that wasn't it.
No.
It worked earlier.
Do I have to?
Anyways, right here, just a QR code. It doesn't matter. It has a QR code.
Oh, see. Stays ready. See, there you go.
Bam.
Yeah, that was actually pretty easy though.
Yeah, pretty easy. QR code. You don't have to yell at people. But normally, with I worked it earlier. It works on my phone.
It's
but,
probably my phone.
yeah. But either way, you should be just having something simple and definitely helping out, people. Additionally, every artist should also have a, sorry, yeah, it's like chicken, but it should have a business card.
Oh, okay.
And with your QR code to whatever website or IG. Mine leads to IG. In fact, you should just keep that card. That way you can have an example of how you should design your business card.
Cool, yeah, definitely.
Because what's going to happen is you're not going to be able to tell everybody your IG all at once. Let's say like 15 people bum rush you and say, hey, let me get your IG. And you're like, here's my card. Not to be rude, but here's my card.
Yeah.
And then if you're dealing with other artists who potentially wants to collab with you, you have your, I personally have a recommendation, or not recommendation, but requirements on how to collab with me. Obviously,
Is that one album or is that which two? Okay, but
yeah. Another free gem for everybody. You guys should be establishing a brand. All right. My brand is Hustlers Mentality Records. Everything I do falls under that brand. Okay. As an artist, you have no accountability, but a brand has an accountability. If I mess up, my brand messes up. So start establishing your brand, and then you do everything underneath the brand's name, and that's how you build up your brand. Okay. We're about to wrap this up in a little bit. What are your recommend lessons?
what was that again?
Recommend lessons. Like, what do you recommend for your, from your catalog?
My catalog is very short right now, and so I recommend, if you want to listen to my music, you listen to the last couple songs that I dropped in the last couple years, but you also sit tight and wait for this project that I'm about to release, because it's definitely some of the best music that I've worked on in the last. I've only been making music for a few years, but about 4 years. But it's definitely the best music that I've made so far. I've produced and engineered a little bit more than half of the songs on there, and the rest of it was produced and engineered by my guy Tobias Platt. So I definitely recommend, if you want to listen to my music, you listen to Dope featuring Rima Cruda, produced by Trey Castro. It's one of my latest songs that I've put out so far, and my project is gonna be more similar to the song "I'd Never Be an Issue," produced by myself and Tobias Platt, featuring Antoine. So if you want to listen to any music before the project drops this summer, I recommend listening to those.
Okay, that sounds great, man. Well, that pretty much is it for our interview. I'm Yamamoto Boss, and this is
JD.
all right. you guys got any questions or comments, go ahead and leave it in the comment section. Make sure you guys hit the like button. I'm gonna put his IG in the description box, and if you guys want to get in contact and find out more information, just please visit his IG page, which is
JDMrSD, which is also an artist name that I'm considering changing to. So,
all right, guys. Hopefully we're gonna do more interviews with more artists. It's your boy Jason Yamamoto, aka Yamamoto Boss, and I'll talk to you guys later.